Setting up a full-fledged regulated commercial cannabis industry in Saint Lucia remains a work in progress, with the Cannabis Taskforce leading the charge in fine-tuning the legislative framework that will guide the budding sector. PRO of the Cannabis Taskforce, Vern Emmanuel, informs the public that the wait is almost over as he updated the populace on the status of cannabis law reform in a recent interview with News Force.
The task force will be meeting next week, Wednesday the 15th, and after which we will have a press conference which will give a full update on where we are with the draft cannabis legislation and the regulatory framework for cannabis. Um, we would also inform as to when the next symposium will occur, which will be before the end of February.
The upcoming symposium, according to Emmanuel, will offer officials an opportunity to dissect the idiosyncrasies of the potential creation of the marijuana industry in St. Lucia.
We will be going through the exact details of the regulatory framework, the proposed cannabis bill, and how the industry is programmed to be developed in St. Lucia.
And how is the response from the symposium being so far?
Well, we've had very good responses from both of the interactions. The first was a general one where we exposed persons to what the regulatory framework and the overall context of cannabis, moving from complete prohibition to a permitted use framework using a public health approach. The next symposium will thoroughly explore the actual details of the cannabis bill, what and the rules and regulations, where we going, how we headed.
Emmanuel says that the task force has pursued a framework that will be inclusive of medicinal, industrial, and research, and getting it right is critical to stakeholders who do not intend to sacrifice due diligence on the altar of expedience.
Cannabis is a broad based topic, and it is something which causes our entire health and education sectors to come into focus. It is not an isolated context of reform. That reform will necessitate a whole of society approach. It's a societal shift from moving from complete prohibition to permitted use.
The Cannabis Task Force PRO hopes the cannabis bill will be brought before lawmakers this year, which would signal that a legal and regulatory framework would be in place for the efflorescence of a cannabis industry. Solange Alfred, HCS News Force.